Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the building. Toby's going to be joining us in a sec. He's just running a bit late. And as I said to Corey, and as you can tell anyway, I am bollocks, people. Absolutely bollocks. Massive Copa America live stream yesterday. Big up to everybody who turned out. And then obviously McGregor lost. I didn't get to see that, but I've got highlights to go over. But Corey, man, this is the big day, Judgment Day. This is it. Yeah. Southgate, do or die. How you feeling, man?
It's nervy. Do you know? I think I just hasn't kicked in yet, and obviously today I've woken up and I'm thinking, oh, here we go. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, from a football point of view, I think it's our biggest test anyway. I'm just interested to see how we deal with the pressure because obviously particularly in first half of this tournament, I think England have froze a little bit. You know, I look at Declan obviously as a West Ham fan, and again he takes time for him to grow into games. But I think because they're used to the atmosphere, at least of 60,000 against Denmark, I'm hoping that we start the game quite bright, but it is going to be cagey anyway, just because of the nature of things. But yeah, mate, I don't know how I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be like that the whole time. It's going to be awful.
Shout out to the chat. They're saying it's not coming home.
No, don't be like that.
It's either going home or it's coming Rome. Do you know what I mean? It's one or the other. Yeah. I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. It's intense, man, because this is if this doesn't work out for England, I think there's gonna be riots in London regardless. It's either for the lose or for the win. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be reaction regardless. But I mean, man, when it comes to Southgate, first of all, we have to big him up because not really many people were in his corner before the tournament, especially with the way that he'd been setting up his team as well, three at the back in some of the qualifiers as well. But I mean, what have you made of him this tournament, win or draw? How are you feeling now about Gareth Southgate?
I kind of have to eat a little bit of humble pie, a little bit, because I know we're not playing attractive football and it's not maybe at the level that most England fans want. But I think one thing that he has shown is he does have a game plan. He does know his squad. The kind of team spirit that he's got within the squad as well, and the ability to be able to use him effectively has impressed me quite a fair bit. I mean, we can talk about him not being at the level of Mancini, and I still think that's a fair statement, but certainly for an international standpoint, I think he's really shown his mettle. And to get to a final, whatever happens today, it's progression at least. And we've got 18 months until a World Cup, so I imagine that this squad now will be the squad that goes into there. So it's important we have a good tournament, and we have. So yeah, credit to him, mate. Can't really fault him too much other than Scotland 0-0. That's still an awful game.
Yeah, that game was absolutely toilet. Toby, bro, big up, welcome. We were just talking about Gareth Southgate because obviously today's the big day. This is it. It's coming home or it's coming Rome. And obviously everyone that I know really gave Southgate a bit of stick before the tournament. But how do you feel about Southgate now? Obviously, with just one game to go, win or draw, how do you feel about him currently as the England manager going into the World Cup with what he's done so far?
I still don't rate him. As a top manager, but you have to respect any manager that gets their team to a final, to a Euros final off the back of a World Cup semi-final. You have to give them some sort of credit. But that being said, I've not been overly impressed with his management of the England team. I feel like whilst he has done a decent job of stabilizing the back four, I also want to give credit to players. I feel like players like Luke Shaw and Maguire, they were playing really well for their club, and they've been able to come they were playing really well for their club in the last second half of the season. They finished strong for Man United, and they've carried that form onto the international stage. And he plays four at the back, and then he'll play Rice and Phillips. So he's essentially playing 6 defensive options. So whilst I am impressed with England's ability to keep the opposition out, I don't think their defense has been truly tested per se. Nor do I feel like he's doing anything extraordinarily special. I just think he has a talented England team, and I think that he's been able to use that talent to sort of overshadow some of the mistakes he's made with the squad. But let me not be too negative on him. I don't rate him as a manager, but as I said, credit where it's due. You've got this team to a final. They've only conceded 1 goal all tournament. Fair play.
I mean, obviously today is going to be the biggest test defensively they've had all tournament because, I mean, Chiesa, I don't know how Berardi's been playing ahead of him in some of these games because Chiesa has just been a whole... It's been ridiculous. Chiesa's been a whole level or two, 3 levels above. He's so efficient and direct as well, and he looks to get a shot off constantly. Obviously, we know Spinzola's out injured, which is a shame because I've enjoyed watching him play. Insigne as well. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. But I mean, first of all, before we get into all that for the preview, I mean, Toby, Corey, where are you guys going to be for the game? How are you going to take this in as England fans? Because we saw what happened when we won the semi-final. People were on top of buses in Oxford Circus, stepping on top of Lamborghinis and whatnot. Where are you guys going to be for this one?
I'll let Corey go first.
I still don't know, mate. I still gotta get involved, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. I think a lot of people probably thought that, do you know what, we probably won't get to the final. And I think now, like, everyone's in agreement. Let's just go and do something. If we win, I just can't imagine what it's going to look like. Like, I literally can't imagine this country is going to go to the dogs for a good 2-3 days, I reckon. But yeah, mate, it's do you know what? It is nice to have a bit of a buzz around because obviously the whole year that we've had, and again, even from a West Ham point of view, I could sit here and moan about lack of transfers. But to be honest, this tournament kind of just takes away from it a little bit. And no, I mean that's the best thing about it. You know, just enjoy it.
Where are you watching it, Matisse?
I'm gonna do a watch along for it, and then if we win, then I'll head out. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. If we win, I feel like I'm gonna go straight into Central and just see what things are looking like. I'm just gonna go to Oxford Circus and start from there, and we'll see where the win takes us. Because if we win, I'm not coming home. Do you know what I mean? I know that for a fact.
But you're not coming home, basically.
Yeah, 100%. What about you?
I'm watching it at what's it called? Robbie's Studios. He's doing a watch. I was even going to say you may as well come, but it's up to you. I know you want to do a watch along, but doing like a barbecue and then they're going to put the game on there. So yeah, should be fun. Should be fun.
And then afterwards, if they win, what, are you going to head anywhere to try
If they win, I'm going ham. I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing. So yeah.
Toby caught on camera. Oh bloody hell! I'm telling you, I can see it already.
I work tomorrow, so listen, I'm free. I'm free to go wild.
Yeah, I haven't seen any team news leaks. I don't know if you guys have. I was expecting to see them for a big game like this. I thought the journalists would be onto it, but they haven't seemed to give up anything yet. There was rumors of Henderson starting in midfield. Would you guys change anything in the midfield area with Phillips and Rice and the way that they're set up there? I mean, would you even keep the same formation as well? How would you go into this with that situation there? Because I don't think Phillips and Rice have been the most impressive, but at the same time, they have got the job done so far. So it's a weird one.
Yeah, it will be harsh. I think it was Grizz who explained it well, the big six. I think for continuity, fair enough. If he wants to stick with the same team, fair. But me personally, I would take out one of Rice or Phillips, probably Rice, and I'd put in. In fact, no, I'd take off Phillips and put in Henderson. That's what I'd do. I feel like Rice, whilst Phillips is better than Rice in possession, I feel like Rice defensively is just more of a clampers than Phillips. And I think with Henderson there, you have someone who can progress the ball. You have someone who can progress the ball in the middle of the park. Not saying Calvin Phillips can't, but I think Jordan Henderson has experience of doing this at the highest level. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like he sort of played his way into fitness, and he hasn't looked bad when he's come on as a substitute. And then I would also drop Mason Mount as well. I would drop Mason Mount, and I would put I'd put Jack Grealish in. I really would. I think for a game like this, you want Jack Grealish starting. I said it even before a ball was kicked for England. After Harry Kane, he's the next name on the team sheet. He should be the next name on the team sheet as far as I'm concerned in terms of attackers. Raheem Sterling's place is sewn up. I think Bukayo Saka's place is virtually sewn up for this final as well. So I would have played Jack Grealish, but like you explained on Friday, Mason Mount, work rate, pressing from the front, etc., etc. Fair play. This isn't me taking shots at him. I like Mason Mount, but I don't think he's had a good tournament, and I think Jack Grealish would just offer much more in that spot.
In an attacking sense, I definitely think he will. But then defensively, I'd worry if we'd be outnumbered by Jorginho, Verratti, and Barella on the ball.
I think we will anyway, mate. Me going into this game, I'm not even sure whether it's right to try and match them up in the midfield. I would just give them the ball. That's how I would approach it. Because we can't compete. And I think either whether you play, I would stick with Phillips and Rice, to be honest. But even if you play Henderson, right, we're not going to go and win the ball off them. You're going to make it too open. You're going to make it too expansive. They're going to play through you. England, as good as we've been defensively, we've only conceded 1 goal from a free kick. Teams can play through us. That is my only concern. I would literally go really defensive. And again, people will say, well, why wouldn't you have a man in midfield? Why would you go to a back 3? And then I'd try and overload them in wide areas, get forward. The only one I would agree with maybe if we... It's tough. I want Grealish to start. I really do, but I can't drop Saka or Sterling. I just can't. I can't see it for me. They've had such a good tournament. I think I'll use Grealish in the last 60, I reckon. But I think he's tailor-made actually for going at Bonucci and Chiellini.
I can't see Saka, Grealish, and Sterling all starting. He'll pick 2 of them. And
if we do go 4-2-3-1, I would still. I know Mount hasn't been brilliant, but just because of the work rate off the ball, if you're going to go that way, then you are going to need him. So, I think his tournament's kind of dipped a little bit because he went out with the COVID situation. And he hasn't really been able to build momentum in the same way that the other players have. But again, you know what you get with him, at least off the ball. Yeah,
it's a strange one because I'm trying to match them up in midfield, not even from a possession standpoint, just in terms of just trying to get the ball back. Because I think if we give them too much time and space on the ball, I don't know if it suits England to sit back like that and allow pressure onto. I mean, because if they do sit back, then obviously they're gonna go for the counters. They're gonna go for pace up front. But I just don't see England just sitting back. I think England, what I've seen from obviously this tournament, they've just tried to dominate possession. Obviously, probably because of the opposition they've had, and then they've hit teams in the counter when they've taken the lead in the last 20, 30 minutes. But I don't know if they'll be able to hold out for the whole game like that. Italy are very direct with the way that they play. Like they're really in your face. I
don't think they can break us down. I just feel that if we play defensive, I don't think they can break us down. I don't think Immobile is that type of player that's going to stretch things. He will try, but 9 times out of 10, he's playing with his back to goal.
Not very impressed with him as well.
Yeah. At the beginning of the tournament, I thought he was very good. I thought I could see like little flashes, but ever since, it becomes quite predictable. I think when they can't break down low block sides, they'll get Verratti on the ball and they'll try and play sort of in behind the defence. But if you play with a back 3 of Walker, Stones and Maguire, it's going to be nigh on impossible for him to get in behind. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I just don't feel that if we are defensive, they can break us down that easy.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not trying a different option there out front instead of. I mean, Immobile, I guess, there's for the high intensity, and he's quite quick as well. He can make a lot of runs and stretch teams, so that makes sense in itself. But just from a finishing perspective, I haven't been the most impressed with him. From an England perspective going forward, Toby, who do you think? Do you think Kane's going to be the guy to bring it home for them in terms, because he's stepped up his tournament now? You was right on it. Do you know what I mean? Started the tournament, he couldn't get no goals. It was starting to look a bit iffy as to people saying, including myself, maybe we should take him out of the team, bring in a runner up front and try and stretch teams like that. But he's stepped up now in the last since the knockout rounds have come, and now obviously the final. I think this is his opportunity to step ahead of Gary Lineker on, because I think he's level with him now on goals. Yeah. So if he gets the goal to take it, wow, that would be incredible if he does so.
That'd be
Jesus
amazing.
Christ. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. I think him and Sterling, to be honest, being honest, I think Raheem Sterling, he's been England's best player this tournament. And he's the player that has to play well today if England are gonna do well. But Harry Kane is their best player. Harry Kane is, on paper, he is the best player England have. For me, he is the only undisputed world-class player in that team. Raheem Sterling, I think you can make a case for him being world-class, but his form sort of told in recent months. But I think Harry Kane is the one where there's no ambiguity whatsoever. So I think England winning this game, it is vital, absolutely vital, that they get a good performance out of Harry Kane. And I think they're going to get one, man. I think they're going to get one. A lot of people have been saying that this guy goes missing in big games, etc., etc. He put that to bed in the Denmark game, put that to bed in the Ukraine game, and he's coming to put in a good performance against Italy today. I really, really, really hope England win today, just so the country finally gets this weight off its back. for 55 years, they don't want anything. And then second of all, I want Harry Kane to get his flowers, because I feel like for a lot of people, his ability and his work that he's put in over the years has been invalidated by his lack of trophies. So in their eyes, even though he's been playing at this level for years, they need to see him win some silverware just to validate the fact that this guy's as good as we've been saying he is for years now. So I really want him to win that trophy just to shut people up, because I know how it was like against Croatia. Oh, he missed this, he did that and the other. And make no mistake, if England, for whatever reason, don't win tonight, they're going to scapegoat him. They're going to scapegoat him. So I'm desperate for England to win tonight, just so it shuts up the boo boys.
I'm a bit worried that the pressure might get to this team, because they're going. It's at Wembley. I think there's going to be quite a lot of Italian fans anyway. But this, like, the Queen's out here writing, messages to Southgate, and it's all kicking off now, and everybody's starting to like do documentaries in colour and shit. Like, it's all kicking off. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like potentially the nerves might get to them, because this is the biggest game in all their careers combined. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it gets much bigger than this for them, especially because it's at Wembley as well. The pressure when they walk out, that this is like the deciding match, and they're gonna go down in history if they win this, because like you said, it's been since 1966. So I don't know, man. I think there's the first 10 minutes we'll see what England are on. I think we've seen that in most games really in the knockout stages. England have kind of shown in the first 10 minutes how serious they are about winning the match. Ukraine, they came out, all guns blazing right from the off. I think they scored inside 4 minutes. Denmark, they were quite quick out the traps as well, but they didn't take advantage. Then Denmark started to grow into the game. Germany, they were quite quick as well. I mean, if I can see any nerves in the first 10 minutes and any individual mistakes, I'm going to be quite worried about them mentally, because I think this Italy team, we saw it with, was it Bonucci or was it Chiellini? I think it was, I can't remember, but with Jordi Alba. Do you remember before the penalty?
Oh yeah, Chiellini.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah. What the man? that's the kind of mentality that we're coming up against. They are literally, and the way that they sing that Italian anthem as well at the beginning, they scare the shit out of me. Honestly, I think they're not going to have any nerves. They've got a lot of experience in their team. What do you guys make of all the booing the national anthem? Because there's been some disagreement on all of that. I think Gary Neville kind of said that it's to like put pressure on the opposition and get them uncomfortable, and then Gary Lineker was like, "Nah, it's disrespectful. We shouldn't be doing it." So
it's crass, yeah. Like, I don't understand why you. I get that these are the teams that you're essentially trying to beat, but why do you need to boo them? Like, what's their national anthem done to you? Yeah,
it's a bad look, in it. Like,
have some respect, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, it's just human decency and respect. Like, why are you booing for? I remember when I was at the game on Wednesday, they were booing as well, and I'm like, the hell? What are you booing for? Fuck you booing for?
It's crazy, isn't it? It's nuts. I don't get it personally. I just think it's not necessary. I don't think it's gonna get in, and all it's gonna do really, if you're trying to wind people up, is just gonna make them want to beat you even more in the first 10 minutes. I think it's just going to make them, motivate them, and if anything, to come up against you. So I personally don't understand it. There's obviously, I think Southgate was due to get his new contract regardless of what happened in this tournament, but he'll definitely get it now as well. Yeah. Is there anyone in this team that you're thinking, are we missing anything? More like, because obviously we saw the preliminary squad. There was some debate. Lingard wasn't in there. Greenwood wasn't in there as well. Now looking back on things, are you guys kind of like, well, I think everybody's kind of earned their spot? Is there James Ward-Prowse as well? Is there anything you think that's missing going into this game that we could have used as a weapon that we don't have currently?
Danny Ings, that's it.
You think? That's interesting. I like Danny Ings. I think he should have been in the squad, to be honest.
I know. Obviously, Harry Kane's probably not going to come off, but
yeah,
I would prefer the option of Danny Ings off the bench to Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin's barely got.
The problem is with Calvert-Lewin. I know he scored goals this season, but his form did dip towards the end. And I kind of look at some of the other options out there, like Ings or maybe even Bamford, and I think I'd rather have them for 20 minutes. I just feel that Calvert-Lewin just doesn't offer enough. But the only thing that England miss, really and truthfully, and someone we need to come through in the next 18 months, is a really good number 6 that's comfortable in possession. Like, that's all we need. And then after that, I think Greenwood will come to the fore, to be honest. I think if he gets regular game time at United, him as a number 9, I think if he starts scoring goals and we've got Kane and Greenwood, then you've got 2 brilliant options there.
And then the centre backs as well. Of course, how can I forget centre backs? There's a couple of centre backs that you expect should be in the fold for Qatar. Joe Gomez should be back from injury by then. Tomori should be getting a better look in. Ben Godfrey should be getting a better look in. Ezri Konza should be getting a better look in as well. Like, I think this will be the last we'll see of Conor Cody in the England setup.
He's got a lot of credit in this tournament, even though he hasn't played. I think he's got a lot of credit. Apparently, some leadership skills have come out from him behind the scenes and stuff.
I read about that as well. And then you never know, maybe even Maddison will be in the picture for Qatar next year. So let's see.
Jesse Lingard. You just don't know, do you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if he'll get in. Like cheerleader.
Maybe.
Why is Jesse Lingard not at your club yet, Corey? Seriously.
Oh, mate. To be honest, I think
United, man.
Yeah. He's not going to play though, is he? They just signed Sancho. He's definitely not going to play now.
This is the thing about Jesse. He's like, someone would have told him, look, mate, you're not going to play regularly, and he'll know. It's because he is a United fan and he's grown up at the club that he thinks he's going to somehow Ollie's going to give him a chance. But look what we did to Van der Beek. Just doesn't play him. That'll be you, Jesse, and then you'll be out on loan in January. And the thing is as well, because the World Cup is so close, if he's not playing for 6 months, he's going to be out of there. But from a West Ham point of view, the only problem is if he signs that contract, there'll be an Everton after him. There'll be a Leicester after him. You know, if Maddison goes to Arsenal, which I don't think he will, but if he did, then it's going to be difficult for us. I don't think he'll come back.
It's an interesting one. If Maddison, I don't know why, I just can't see Maddison in an Arsenal shirt. It just doesn't make sense to me personally.
I think I can.
I can see it.
He's quite vain, isn't he, Maddison? I think he loves it, and apparently he's seen stuff online saying they'll give him the number 10 and he'll be the star of the show and all this kind of thing. So maybe that appeals to him. It won't appeal to him when they're 13th, a couple of months into next season, and then he'll see what it's like unless they're well up the table.
That's true, yeah.
We've had this conversation before, right? London, Arsenal as a name, bigger club than Leicester, more money, just being in the hub of England, he'll take it. Even if Leicester finished 3rd and Arsenal were 9th, he would take that Arsenal move 100%. Their name holds more weight than Leicester's, even though they're not in the best of positions right now. So for me, it's always a case. For me, it's a case of if Arsenal genuinely have the money to stump up, which is I reckon
how they're going to double his wages or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be around. I reckon if they buy him, it'll be around 60 to 65 million.
Is he worth that, do you think?
I don't think he is worth that, but English premium, innit? So
I'll tell you what, with Maddison, he just needs games. The injury record where he keeps playing a couple of games, he was improving last season. You see he adding goals to his game. Plays 30 games, people will start to say he's worth 60 mil.
You know what it is with Maddison? I don't think he is worth 60 mil right now, but you pay on potential, innit? And you pay on the English tax premium. I think if Arsenal sign him, they're signing a very good player there with the potential to go at least another gear or two. He's 24, 25 years old. I think as far as playmaking comes in terms of through ball passing, I think he's the best. At doing that of all the number 10s.
Only 24 years old.
I think when it comes to actually like passing through the lines, like vertical passing, like through balls, I think he does that better than Grealish, and I think he does that better than Mason Mount. But of course, those two players have other facets in their game that they trump Maddison on anyway. But I think he's a really talented player, and I think he's one where like he's definitely got some gears to go, and he could explode. So that would be a really good signing for Arsenal. I won't even lie, that would be a really good signing. But Leicester, you know how it is. English premium. They got 50 for Chilwell. They got 80 for Maguire.
40 for Drinkwater.
They're used to getting more than what the player's worth. So I don't see why that will change for their best playmaker. So if Arsenal want him, that's the price. Go pay it, and he'll probably join.
I think he'll get his wages doubled. He'll get the 10 shirt. It'll all be quiet. And apparently, he didn't have the best relationship with Rodgers as well. So I'm not sure what that current situation is. I'll have to ask Lee Chappie on that one. Lots of love, y'all. Cleany masterclass today, he says from this super chat. Much appreciated, bro. Listen, like I said, if England don't win, then everybody knows what I'm on in it. And if they do, then happy days, I'll go out. If they don't win, I'm running agendas. We'll keep it moving. Actually, no, I don't think I can run that now after what happened yesterday. Messi won. So I think that's kind of just cemented it. Do you know what I
You'll
mean?
be buzzing, mate, wouldn't you? Jorginho, Ballon d'Or. It'll be exactly what you've been waiting for.
Yeah, but now that Messi's won Copa America, I don't think I can even realistically well, I couldn't anyway, but now I really don't think I really can't. Now I really can't. So yeah, I think I might have to give that one a rest. I mean, Tottenham, there's not really any news coming out of Tottenham, is there? I mean, actually, no, I've seen Fabrizio tweet about your club one time there. I don't know what that was all about. You linked to the player.
Tomiyasu, yeah.
Have you seen much of him? What club does he play for? No.
He plays for Bologna. I've not seen much of him, but I've watched comps, I've read articles on him, and he looks a sensible signing on paper, but he's an unknown signing. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm tired of signing these unknown players who look sensible in the sense of, oh, they're young, they play a certain position, oh, they could be a good player, etc., etc. He could already be a good player. I don't know because I don't know much of him, but I'm just tired of Spurs signing like, oh, he could be this in 2-3 years' time. He could do this, he could do that, instead of he is this. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm tired of us not going for proven players. Our defense is our weakest part of the team. Alderweireld wants out. Our 2 starting centre-backs are not good enough. Joe Rodon is not ready to, and to be honest, not good enough to be a regular in the team. Tanganga is still learning his way and plying his trade. So we need 2 stern and strong players to come and just dominate those 2 centre-back spots for us as well. So Tomiyasu, I don't know much of him. He's an unknown.
Why are you guys not all over like a Lewis Dunk? Just like a solid centre-back in the Premier League who you know what you're getting.
Lewis Dunk is 29 years old, bro.
I know, but when you're buying potential, they tend to be more expensive. Do you know what I mean? You might be able to.
Nah, it's not worth it, man. I don't. Lewis Dunk. I think we can get better centre backs than Lewis Dunk. Who would
you be after if you were looking to bring someone in?
I'd be after Skriniar, but we ain't got the money, and he don't want to join Spurs. And ideally, I wanted Anderson and a better centre back on top. That's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted like a leading centre back and a supporting centre back as well. But listen, this Tomiyasu guy, it looks like the deal's going to get done. I don't know much of him, but I'm trying to be optimistic. I've read stuff about him that gives me decent thoughts. And when I've actually seen clips of this guy, he looks very, very comfortable in possession. And I think he looks as if he can read danger well. But again, you're playing in Serie A. You've not really had any experience playing in a league like this, playing in a position that is so critical for us, centre back. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I feel like this is what I don't like about Spurs, putting this much pressure on a largely unproven player. But
how is he young? How old is he? Did you say
he's 22 or 23 years old? I think.
It sounds like a Sanchez kind of one, isn't it? From when you bought him from overseas as well. He's
tall. He's like 6'2", which is good. We need someone 6'2", 6'3". We need someone who's tall and can dominate in the air. And he looks very comfortable in possession. He's Japanese, isn't it? And if there's one thing I'll say about the East Asian footballers that I know, like especially some of the Japanese players, they're very technically sound. They're very technically sound. Like they're comfortable with the ball at their feet. And I think in addition to having someone who can dominate defensively in terms of aerial duels and 1v1 situations, we need someone who doesn't treat the ball like a hot potato. We need someone who is calm in possession. So hopefully he can bring that to us, but I'm not holding my breath. I don't know much of him. I can just go off stuff I've read. So hopefully he's good.
It really does.
We need better. I want to see here. I want to see a much better and established centre back coming if he's coming in as well.
Yeah, it really does feel like all of our, well, obviously I guess on the outskirts, if there could be always stuff going on behind the scenes, but on the outskirts, it feels like all of our boards are shaking our managers right now. There's lack of movement. I don't know how long we can really use this Euros argument as an excuse, because there's only one game left and it's tonight, and there's only 2 teams. So unless they're English or Italian, I don't really know what all the hold up is. So I'm really hoping that over the next couple of weeks, things start to kick into gear. Do you guys think it's just the market with the way that the finances are with obviously the pandemic or anything? I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because the market does feel very, usually the Premier League are the one making the most noise. It feels very, very quiet. I can't think of too many signings that have even happened so far, apart from Sancho.
The Leicester that have been busy. Leicester
have been busy. Yeah,
Leicester have been busy. Wolves signed Trincao on loan. I think we're going to see a lot of movement after the Euros and Copa and stuff, because Copa's finished yesterday, Euros is finishing today, pre-season starting now. We're going to see some movement. We're going to see some activity as well. But yeah, you're right though. Even these competitions normally don't stop sides from doing what they need to do. Like Liverpool before the World Cup even started, they had already wrapped up deals for Fabinho. I can't remember who else they signed. And then they signed Alisson after the World Cup as well. So yeah, let's see what happens. People are saying in the comments, Zuma linked to Spurs. I don't want Zuma.
You wouldn't get him anyway. I can't lie to you. There's absolutely no way we're doing business with you.
I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's a leading centre back. I don't think he's.
No, he's not. He's a secondary centre back.
I don't think he's a certy good centre back. Like he's a squad player centre back, and we need starters.
He'd be a good centre back for you guys.
No, he wouldn't.
It'd be an upgrade, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he would.
What, as a starter? What does that mean?
Yeah, as a starter. Yeah, 100%.
Do you think, Toby? Do you think Nuno's going to play a back three or a back four?
I don't know. I think he was going to try and play with a back three, but he said, but we can't have him playing the way he played at Wolves. We can't have him playing antagonistic football. He needs to be a bit progressive, and whether that's a change in style, so be it. I don't even have an issue with three at the back. It's how you implement three at the back. Yeah. Three at the back doesn't mean you play defensive. Three at the back, I've seen Antonio Conte dominate this league with three at the back, and it wasn't like Chelsea were parking the bus every week. So
some
we'll
weeks.
Every week. But I don't want Zuma. Costs too much money.
Yeah, if you're playing a back three, Zuma does not suit that at all. You need to be playing a back four.
And I don't think he's not that he's bad. I just don't think that
technically he's not going to be what you want.
Exactly. I don't think he transforms our defense. Like for me, being better than Eric Dyer and Sanchez, it's not enough, because they're two players that shouldn't be in our team. You need to be like good in your own right, which is why I have my reservations about Tomiyasu. So yeah.
Zuma he's not a ball playing centre back. He'd be good for a back four if you're going like that.
But then you look at Nuno at Wolves, right? And look at the way he had Cody, Willy Bolly, right? And Willy Bolly is not great on the ball, but maybe Zuma has got the only thing is, I watched Zuma, I think it was Chelsea Southampton, and he was the main centre back.
Oh,
and
the positioning.
He got done up. That's the only thing. You'd have to kind of put him on either side, and you'd have to have a bit of protection. But he's more of a... He's a recovery. He's a recovery. I can see him playing for West Ham. I think he'd suit us probably.
I think I don't know, man. I think Zuma. No, I think Zuma's too good, man. I think Zuma's too good.
For a sixth place club.
Why doesn't he start at you? If you
I don't know if you're sixth place next season though. Well, because he's not better than Christensen, or he's not better than Rudiger, and he's not better than Thiago Silva.
And Christensen isn't exactly like.
But I think Zuma would start for you guys currently with what I'm looking at of your centre backs.
I never said he wouldn't start.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So
that's my point. Being better than the current options, being better than the current options is not hard. The bar is so low. Yeah. The bar is literally low. That's what I'm saying. Centre backs who are good in their own right. A lot of people in the comments confusing what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Zuma wouldn't start for Spurs. I'm saying Spurs need better than Kurt Zuma. We do. We do. I'm sorry, but we had two centre backs who were not only good defensively, but they were good in possession. Jan Morgan and Alderweireld. And that was what worked best for us. And I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that. I've seen what a defender who isn't great on the ball, but has the athletic attributes looks like at Spurs. And it's not good. It's not good, especially when we're trying to play a progressive game. So I know what we want. And I don't think Kurt Zuma fits the bill.
Ryan Sessegnon, someone asked about him as well. He's gone way... Where did he go out on loan? He went missing for a while there. I was kind of surprised.
He went Hoffenheim on loan, and I think he had a decent loan spell there. He's back on the team. People are saying, why wouldn't you take Vestergaard? Because he's not that good. Have you only just been watching the Premier League this season? I've been seeing Vestergaard for 3-4 years now. He's not.
Vestergaard was getting some serious hype on this show when we were comparing Arsenal and Southampton earlier in the season. Man. Oh my God.
People are so yesterday. Like, what the hell? And
Vestergaard better than like Gabriel and all this madness. It was nuts.
Vestergaard is going to be what, like 29 years old as well. Turns like a double-decker bus. Yes, I get that he passes well. Yes, I get that he's a presence in the air. But We need more than that, man. He's not a good defender, bro. I don't rate him. I don't rate him.
God,
Very good passer. But he's always been a good passer. Again, this is what I'm saying. People who have watched Vestergaard over the years and not just based on the season, you would have known this guy's always been a good passer for Southampton. Passing isn't why I don't rate him. Why I don't rate him is what he does when he's out of possession.
I think Ryan Sessegnon, back to him, I think he'll suit that back three quite a lot. I remember him at Fulham back in the day, and really good at left wing back, stroke left mid. He was very, very good. Obviously a lower league. If you have him as your second choice to Regulon, I think that would be quite a nice dynamic. Obviously Ben Davies, I'm not really too keen on him at the moment. I don't think he's really stepped up to replace Danny Rose as I expected him to over the years. So I mean, is he should be leaving, shouldn't he, at this point? Or how's Ben Davies, isn't it?
He's shit, man. He needs to go. Just being back in the team and Nuno being our manager, it could work well for him, because if Nuno plays free at the back with wing backs, Regulon will thrive, and hopefully Cess will thrive as well, because he played left wing back / left back for Hoffenheim as well. So let's see. Yeah,
for Chelsea perspective, I'm not seeing no news, people. Like I said, it's just at this point, it's just becoming foolish. There's this journalist.
You whoring yourself out for Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland. I saw your tweet the other day. Chelsea, please do not buy Erling Haaland.
I'm just rubbing some juju on it, man. Some juju on it.
Corey, you see how this guy moves on.
I'm just running juju on it, man. I need to work some magic. It's getting ridiculous now. We have.
Matisse, do you actually think you'll get a top class number 9 in by the end of the window? Because the more this goes on, the more I'm starting to think, I don't know if you lot are actually gonna get someone.
I mean, if we don't, our season is gonna be in tatters in comparison to what could have happened. Like,
do you know? I think Kai Havertz will step up for you though. I know he's not a number 9 as per, but
I just don't think he'll get enough goals. I really don't. I love him, great player, favorite signing that we made in the attacking sense last summer, and he's the one that I was like, yeah, undisputed. No chance he's busting, talented baller. But when it comes to scoring goals, I don't think he's enough. We need an actual number 9. Like when you've got Kane in this league, and you've got, obviously Liverpool's front three, and you've got, Man City always seem to find a way.
Antonio and
there's actually not a lot of good strikers in this league now that I think about it. I mean, Tottenham have got, Son as well. I mean, I need someone of that level, man, up front. I need it. I need a proper 9. If we can't,
if you don't get Haaland, who would you?
I want Lukaku, but apparently he doesn't want to move. But again, I feel like people say a lot of things until the offer is presented to them and there's actually an agreement in place between the clubs, and then we'll see whether you do or don't want to move if the option is actually there to you. But we need to bring in one of those two, because anybody else, I think it's just going to end up it's going to be a big gamble. Whereas I think those two, they come into this league physically, mentally, they're ready and they thrive. Whereas anybody else, I'm not sure. I haven't got a list of targets. I think the market for strikers right now isn't great. Like outside of your top world-class strikers, like even Andre Silva, people were talking about him at Frankfurt, and he makes a sideward step to RB Leipzig. Like he doesn't even propel up to the next level, really. He's going to another club that's not challenging.
With Andre Silva, when I was quite shocked at how many goals he scored last season. I was impressed with what he did at Frankfurt. But with Andre Silva, I just don't really think that when I watch him play, and maybe I'm being a bit harsh here, when I've watched him play, he doesn't look like a pure finisher for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's strong, he's fast, link-up play is decent as well. But I don't get the sense of comfort that if I put you through on goal 10 times, you're gonna bag 7 or 8 out of 10 times. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't really get that feeling from Andre Silva. You know what's crazy as well? There's one striker in the league who I think does fit that bill. Danny Ings. Yeah.
You're a big Danny Ings fan, aren't you?
Big man thing. Yeah. He does. And I didn't used to think it, but he does. He is a pure striker. Left foot, right foot, hold up play, link up play. He can finish, bro. Inside the box, outside the box. He can finish. Yeah. And he can play by himself. I know obviously he plays in the 2 with Shay Adams, but I think he can do a job by himself as well.
People sleep on him too much, I think. People genuinely, like, there's an argument because he's gonna leave Southampton, I reckon. He don't want to sign a contract. And people are going, would you take him?
Is he good enough to be Chelsea's first choice, though, for a season?
Well, I know.
I'll be like, nah. Second choice, yeah.
It's the injury thing, but I don't know if you remember, last season he had injuries, but the season before he was consistent. He was scoring off nearly every shot on target. That's elite for me, just because he plays, and his overall play is a lot better than people give it credit for as well. So it'd be a last chance resort. The only thing I can see him going at Chelsea and only playing 20 games because of the amount of games, and you need a striker that's going to be fit for 30 plus because of all the competitions you're in.
No, I would take him as a second choice, but when it comes to, someone said that Lukaku is not ready mentally, Matisse. He is comfortable in Italian league. Well,
I don't even know what that means. Lukaku is one of the most mentally strong people, one of the most mentally strong football players that we've seen play the sport. If there's anyone who's shown the ability to bounce back, it's him. Lukaku's a quality striker in his own right, and I think if Inter were in a position where they needed to sell him, I think Chelsea should be looking at someone like Lukaku to bury those chances, because I feel like his remit at Chelsea would be different to his remit at Man United. But Inter aren't going to sell him. I think that was confirmed. They said they don't want to sell him. So, and he's literally their best player. So I can't see him.
I think Inzaghi, they came out and kind of like said, listen, we're expecting to keep him. We only needed to sell one. They sold Hakimi, and then they keep it moving from there. Someone said his agent confirmed that he's staying. This is what I'm saying. Chelsea are in
Lukaku defending Lukaku.
Really it's Haaland or bust, isn't it? If we don't bring him in, and God help us all, seriously, because I just don't think. Look, Chelsea could have propelled themselves to title challenges this season if they had got, if they get that striker that they need, and then obviously any other position for me after that is icing on the cake. Billy Gilmore went out, so you kind of do need a CM. But if they don't get the striker, I think it's just going to be another top four battle, and that's where it's just very underwhelming after winning the Champions League, not kicking on.
What's the third option if there's no Haaland or Lukaku?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, who would you recommend? I mean, outside Danny Ings, because fitness-wise, you can't really rely on him, especially with the amount of games we've got. Who else would you recommend? There's that guy at Fiorentina that people have been talking about, but I haven't watched him.
Yeah, he looks good. Vlahovic, he looks good.
He's very young though, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a lot of pressure.
He's like
21.
He looks good. He's got the hold up, and he can score as well, and he's got 10. He looks.
Who else is even out there? That's the thing.
Tammy Abraham can step up, mate. Surely.
No.
What's going on? What's going on with
it? Don't try it.
Why can't he?
Because Tuchel doesn't rate him. Evidently, he hasn't played him.
Matisse.
He doesn't rate him.
I know Tuchel doesn't rate him, but do you?
Do I think?
Do you have the total confidence that if Tammy gets a run of games, he can be that striker you're looking for? There you go. Then
for us to win the title, he's not ready.
There you go.
He's not ready.
What's the situation though? Because I don't understand. So Giroud's going at AC Milan, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Tammy's going out the door. You must have someone lined up. Like there must be someone that someone's not saying something about.
I think Haaland's the one that they're pushing. They're really. I think that behind the scenes they're trying to put together a package that makes sense. So when they bring it to Dortmund, it just gets accepted. I think it's very clear what Dortmund want. They've made it quite public. 150 million or leave. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're not. I think it's 150 million euros though. I think. Or don't talk to us. So surely Chelsea must be preparing a package, whether it's in add-ons or installments or whatever, for that deal. And then obviously you got to pay Alfie, you got to pay Raiola. There might even be a release clause in there as well to maybe activate in 3 years. You've got to surely behind the scenes, you've got to be preparing that, because otherwise I don't know what's going on. People are at me Griezmann. I don't want a Griezmann, to be honest.
You know what it is with Haaland as well? It's just because it'll be an enormous deal, because his agent is Raiola, which means you're going to have to pay him a fat chunk because he's a fat bastard. He likes his money. Number two, you're going to have to prepare a stupendous package for Haaland, because I swear Raiola is the Lick's agent as well.
Yes, I think so. I think
so. I can't remember. So we know Raiola always gets his clients paid. Yeah. And then third of all, you're going to have to pay an enormous fee to get Erling Haaland out of Dortmund. So it's a huge transfer. We're talking almost
200 million.
Almost 200 million.
Yeah.
So, but then again, you ask yourself, this 200 million, you're sorted for the next decade at least if he stays at your club.
He wouldn't though. That's the thing. He would definitely move on as long as that release clause is obviously more than what we paid. So it'd have to be minimum 200 and something million, 200. I don't know, 20, 250. Then cool. But yeah, man, this is the thing. It's such a big deal. I think, and you know, when I had Julian on, he said that if Chelsea were to bring in Haaland, it'd probably be the only deal that they do because it's so big.
You lot are made of money, but I mean, you're not flipping reckless to the point where you're going to spend. That's your whole transfer kitty on one.
Yeah, you'd have to get quite a few sales out the door then to bring it to.
I think you can do that as well, though. I think you can do that as well. Like I'm trying to remember, you lot have got some assets that you can sell, no?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think we're looking for about 40 million for Tammy Abraham. I think it's a bit steep, but you could potentially maybe get that for him. Obviously, Tomori's actually already been sold for 28 million.
28, exactly. So that's already money. That's already money made.
Yeah,
Babarahman's still on the books as well.
He is. You're not getting any money for him. People like Babarahman and Drinkwater, you'd be lucky to get them even out at this point. It's ridiculous. Emerson's another one.
Well, that's another one. Maybe
Bakayoko.
like 10, 15 M's. Marcus Alonso or Emerson.
Emerson as well. I think we're looking for about 20 million euros from that one as well. 20 million euros.
Batshuayi as well. Like you lot can. The thing is, it's
not a selling market though, is it? It's not a lot of people that really want these players.
But I think you even lower your asking price, because obviously the problem with you lot is you got players who are on wages that they're not going to get at the clubs that are interested in them. So there's going to have to be some sort of give and take. There's going to have to be some sort of wage.
Barkley as well.
And Ross Barkley as well. But I think you lot got some sellable assets there, man. I think the thing is spending all that money on Haaland and not selling is wild.
Yeah.
But spending all that money on Haaland and selling, I think you can do it because you got money anyway. And if you can sort out the back end and get some players off the wage bill and get some money in, I think you can justify spending such an outlay on one player.
Yeah, there's this player called Kamara at Marseille. Don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's available very, very cheap.
The DM.
Yeah, the DM. Yeah, apparently he's available for around 15 million. Something.
Oh my god, I forgot about Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher. Like you lot have got assets. Sell.
We have, but we're slow. We're Zappa Costa's another one. Jesus, but we're very. I don't know. We're very. Marina's very stingy. Is it like not stingy, but she wants her money. She wants her bread in it. So she's a slow negotiator when it comes to getting players out the door. We have a lot of players we could be selling. Zuma's another one that's been linked with moves out as well. But people, I don't know what it is, but when they come to Chelsea for players, they tend to always offer a loan with the option to buy afterwards. It's very frustrating. They don't actually usually want to pay. So it's long. If we don't get these players out, man, if we don't bring in this striker, God help us, honestly, next season. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
One Chelsea anyway. I hope you don't bring anyone.
But anyway, to round up for the last 13 minutes on England. Oh, Toby, is the connection there now? Because obviously you went to the game. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like proper English now? Like Stella.
I wouldn't say.
At the start, you was like, don't really care. Don't really care.
No, I didn't have the affinity in it, and I still kind of don't. But I don't. It's not like I dislike England. I don't want them. I don't want to shit on them. I don't want them to lose. I just want them to be better. Do you get what I'm saying? I want them to give me a reason to support them, and I think they have. Like they've done the country proud, and I gotta say, I'm rooting for England all the way today, and I really hope they beat Italy. I really do. Like I think. Some of those players, Raheem Sterling, the stick that he got heading into this tournament, even from some of us saying that he shouldn't have started. Because let's be honest, on form, he didn't look good. But the way he's been able to be like England's undisputed best player, and then just the likable characters in that squad as well. Like for them to go all the way to the final as well, man. Like they got to bring it home, man. They got to bring it home, and they got the whole country behind them, man. And yeah. That game on Wednesday, one of the best games I've ever been to in my life. And I never thought I'd say that about an England game because you know how boring England games are. But that game was honestly pandemonium. The stadium was jumping. The fans were electric. The performance was good. So yeah, man. I'm rooting for England tonight, and I want Chiellini in the fucking mud. Yeah.
It's all because of that one Tottenham line, isn't it?
Yeah. I like Italy though. If at least if in the foresee in the event that England somehow don't win this game, because let's be honest, Italy, they are a better unit than England. Maybe not man for man, but they are a better unit. So they got every chance of winning this game. If England, on the off chance that they don't win this match, at least it's no shame in losing to a side like Italy. Like they've been brilliant in this tournament as well, and they're really one of the best sides in Europe, and they got a top coach as well. So let's see. But come on, England.
You was about to make a point there. I'm going to steer it to Corey. This team, the togetherness is clear, like, isn't it, Corey? Like, it's mad, so man. Different to what we're used to. Because Lampard's spoken on it. I think maybe Ferdinand, quite a few of them in the studio have spoken on it. That golden generation England team, the reason why they couldn't maybe get over that final hurdle was the in-house rivalry that they had with. Because I think the rivalries of English football have they've kind of weakened a little bit. Like they're not as fierce as they used to be with like Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea was a really big one as well in the Champions League. Like there was actual hatred amongst these clubs in terms of like playing each other. Now I feel like it's kind of softened up a bit. I mean, when was the last time we seen an Arsenal-Tottenham fight on a pitch? Like it just doesn't happen anymore. We used to get those fights every single game. Like I remember Chelsea, Arsenal in a cup final. I think it was the Carling Cup, and Fabregas was like running away from some of our players, and it was like all kicking off, and like even Tottenham, Chelsea as well at the Bridge. Like we've had some proper fights between these teams, and then to go from that and then to link up with England, it's not really feasible. I mean, but now the chemistry is completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad, mate. I think this is why you got to credit Southgate, because as much as a manager, as I've said before, I'm not keen on the way that we play, and I'd like us to be a bit more expansive. I think the blend of the players, I don't know if you've seen Lions Den or whatever on the England YouTube channel and things like that, and all of them together, there's no animosity there. They're all really
unicorns.
And it's mad. But what I like about it as well is the mix of players. I'm not just saying this because obviously Declan's in there, but you've got West Ham player, Leeds player, Aston Villa, Cody, Wolves. They're just a mix of players. It's not all about the top four. And I think in seasons gone by, it has been about clubs that have been in the top four because naturally they are the best players. But Southgate's done a brilliant job of getting this team working together. And I think it can't be easy for some of those players at times not to play as many minutes as they would like. But they've bought into it massively, and they've bought into that game plan. And listen, we've got a talented squad. That's why we are where we are. You know, he's not a genius manager, but he's managed the situation relatively well. But it's been impressive, mate. And I think people are getting behind it again because the attitude towards England's changed from the players' perspective. Yeah, and the fans can now see that and they can buy into it, and there's a bit of passion there. So, yeah, you got to give him credit, mate. As much as I dug him out for like months on end.
Same. It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, he's got his ways like that. That's kind of what I think people, even if you don't like him, you kind of respect it to a degree because he has said, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it." Like even the other night when he brought Trippier on, took Grealish off. I'm like, "What are you doing? You can't just sit back. All of a sudden, they're going to get chances." But I'm getting to the point now. Every time I watch it, I think, do you know what? He must know what he's doing. Like, let's just let him play it out and see what happens.
If he wins it. But after all that joking around as well with Tottenham to Southgate,
I still wouldn't take him.
He won't be able to manage at club level. I don't think he's a good club manager.
I don't think he's a good manager, but yeah, like Corey said, he's got to the final, so we have to shut up and respect what he's done. So yeah.
I think it'd be funny, man. Listen, if he wins the European Championship, we would have been walking into Tottenham with that amount of success. It would have been fun. It would have been a fun thing, man, to be witnessing. Do you know what I mean? It's more success than Nuno's had. I remember before we was talking about it on the stream, even Lee was like, the one manager I would not take over Arteta is Southgate. Like we was really going into him. Now, obviously, I still don't rate him. But
though, like, do you know what I mean? Like that's the mad thing. I think in this tournament, we've learned that club football and tournament football is two different ball games. So we can't compare.
It's just so funny to me now that actually he's going to get his flowers and it's actually going to be deservingly so. I think after the World Cup, we all obviously after we sobered up, we saw what it was. And I
gave him a grace period and he bombed. He's dead.
But if he does get what do you, I mean, obviously this is a fun little hypothetical, but if we do win, what kind of stupid shit do you see like this country awarding our England team because
imagine
he got a station.
They're gonna build him a statue next to Winston Churchill's. Watch.
Do you think so? I'm not even playing. I think that's actually a possibility that someone could get a statue out of this. Like I already seen the Queen write him a letter. He got a station last time. I'm very intrigued to see what they get.
This honestly, I want England to win also for the pandemonium that is gonna ensue. Is gonna begin. In London, like nobody is sleeping tonight. If England win, nobody is sleeping.
What did you think the semi-final celebrations were over the top, or you think first final 55 years going for it?
I don't think they were. First final 55 years. Enjoy it, revel in it, especially when you were the stadium. The host stadium is in England as well. Revel in it and enjoy it, man. Because these times they never last. Take it from a Spurs fan, man. You have to enjoy the moment and not always want more and more and more and more. There's no problem in wanting more, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the moment. So always enjoy the moment because you never know when next you're gonna get that moment. So yeah.
If they win tonight, I can't wait to see what London looks like, man. I just think it's gonna be absolute chaos. I think a lot of people are going to get arrested. I think a lot of people are going to take it too far and they're going to lose their jobs. I've seen a lot of memes, people willing to lose their jobs over this game, like for real. Like it's getting like that.
I think there's going to be a lot of kids as well in 9 months' time if England wins.
The population just doubles in London.
Everyone's called Gareth. Like, the Gareth in like 20 years' time. Like, what the hell is I'll tell you what though, I can foresee a situation where it's Sir Gareth Southgate and then it ends up being, I reckon Harry Kane might get United as well, to be fair.
I think every player could potentially get something, you know. I really do. I think the whole squad, I feel like the whole squad will get invited to Buckingham Palace. They'll all have to go up there and get something. I don't know. I feel like they're all going to get medals of freedom or some shite from America. I don't know.
Freedom of the city.
In the NBA, when you win the championships, you get invited to the White House and stuff like that. So I think it will be like that with England. If they win the Euros, they'll definitely be invited to Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen.
It's got to be a tour bus as well, parade, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I need them to win now. This would be nuts. Now I'm getting excited and watching how Italy just do some bullshit and just win 1-0, some dodgy own goal or something and just ruin everything. Oh man. Wow. Because I've said it before, I don't really feel that England connection. I haven't really been hyped this whole tournament, but now I'm starting to actually think of what could transpire and I'm starting to get quite kind of excited. But we'll wrap it up there, people. It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, kickoff at 8 o'clock. England versus Italy. I'll be doing a watch along later. So come and swing by if you're not going out for the festivities. But really, if you're in the UK, you really should be, to be honest. I'm just catering to the international fans. You really should be out. Corey, bro, let us know what content you got coming out. What's coming up over. Obviously, this is the last game in the Euros. After this, it's going to be back to club football again, which I am looking forward to be honest. It's been great, but I need club football back.
Yeah, trust me, man. It's back to pre-season. West Ham had a game the other day, so just doing some little match reviews on that. Obviously, rumours. I think we're signing Alphonse Areola, which I think is a top signing for us. So, video out on that. And yeah, mate, it'll be a month and a bit until the start of the season. Got my season ticket sorted, so loads more content on the way.
Smash the likes, people. Toby, what you got coming out, bro? Any shows coming out after this now? Club football back?
Yeah, so my overrated, underrated show is back this upcoming week on Tuesday or Wednesday. I got a very, very interesting topic, and I got 2 guests that I've spoken to that are willing to come on and talk about it. So it's linked to England, but it's let me not spoil it, but it's going to be good. It's going to be
nice. Looking forward to that. People here, listen. Like I said, watch along. I'm not going to let you know who's on it yet, because I haven't confirmed the whole list, but listen, we'll see who jumps in. I'm gonna obviously start an hour earlier, and then I feel like some people might just want to watch the game in their own zone as well. So maybe for the actual game, there'll be less people, but we'll see. I won't do no spoilers, but you'll like the thumbnail. I'm going to have Declan Rice and Jorginho on the thumbnail.
Relax, man. He's West Ham through and through. Do one.
Yeah, I know he is, but listen, I had to do it. I needed some rivalry. I needed that versus EA Sports did it. So I've already got
the Declan Rice card, mate. Unreal. Absolutely different.
Oh, you've already got it?
Oh, mate. It's absolutely
Jesus Christ. You didn't waste no time on that one. What was he, like, 95 rating or something?
I think he's 94. Got him and Player of the Month Lingard in that midfield.
Yeah, I seen him and Jorginho had the same rated card, and I just seen Jorginho's card, and it said like 89 pace, and I was like, come on now, guys, this is ridiculous. Yeah. These FIFA, this is why I can't take FIFA seriously no more. It just becomes ridiculous. I can't do it with these cards, these inform cards. Like it had like physicality like 91. I'm just like, again, why are we doing this? Where are we getting these numbers from? But yeah, Roundabout will be back tomorrow. I know I've been saying that like for like 2 weeks on the trot now, but it actually will be, because if England bring it home, or even if they don't bring it home, that episode would just be too fire to miss out on. And then yeah, back into normal proceedings. I mean, Toby, are you still? Because I was going to move this show back onto Wednesdays when the season starts. But how are you looking for work?
Yeah, work is still busy. Work is going to get busier because the project I'm working on is going to move on to the next phase. But lunch on Wednesdays. Yeah, I normally have meetings at between 2 and 2:30, so I can try and squeeze in 1 o'clock. Let's
try. We'll try and get it back to the usual time for you guys, because obviously Sundays when the season starts will be football day for the matches. But yeah, I'm missing Thomas Tuchel, people. I need those press conferences back in my life. So I'm looking forward to Chelsea. We're going to be doing watch-alongs on this channel throughout the season as well. So I'm going to add that to the channel and see how that goes. Hopefully I don't get clipped up. See you guys in a bit. Smash the likes, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later on for the watch-along. Peace.
See you later, bro.